Hello and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. War in last episode, we finished up the first investigation for the magical turnabout, and today we are going to be heading to trial for the first time in the magical turnabout. Let's do this. I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine. Is Apollo okay? He's been muttering to himself all morning. He's been like that since yesterday. Guess the pressure of today's trial is getting to him. Poor Polly, he's really tearing himself up over all of this. Get it together, Apollo! Yikes, Athena. When did you get here? Try to relax a little bit, will you? You're getting yourself way too worked up. Yeah, but I'm alright, I'm fine. You know, I did a little digging on this Nayuta Sadmati guy. He's apparently not your run-of-the-mill prosecutor. Yeah, they never are. Oh yeah? What'd you find out? Well, they say he wields an incredible power to accurately read a trial's... to accurately read a trial's karma. And its ultimate... I cannot say that sentence without bursting out laughing. Okay, first off, there's no way that's a coincidence. There's no way that reading a trial's karma, there's no way that's a coincidence. Also, can we just have a normal prosecutor? Like, just your average Joe? Just, you know, no gimmicks necessary? What is that supposed to mean? I don't have all the details, but apparently he can foresee how the arguments will go and even lead his opposition, so the defense basically ends up going in whatever direction he has in his head. Man, that isn't gonna be a cakewalk if that's true. Emma did say she'd talk to him for us, though. He's hoping that went well. In any case, sounds like he's gonna keep us on our toes. Yeah, since when has that not been the case with the prosecutor in this game? That's why I know you're ready, why I know I can lead Trucy in the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. Mr. Wright's putting his faith in me. I can't let him down now. Yeah, you've done that way too many times already. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. There he goes again. It's almost like he's chanting a prayer. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine. If you say so, Apollo. The trial's still momentarily, is it events already? Yes, we're fine. You know, if you keep... the more you say that, the less we actually believe you. Trucy's fate and the fate of the agency rests on this trial. This is it, Justice. If ever there was a time to shine, it's now. I certainly hope now's the time for you to shine. Because you've been doing a pretty lackluster job of that recently. Okay. Seriously, wow! The art quality of this game has been upped dramatically. Like, every aspect of this game's visual splendor is phenomenal compared to Dual Destinies. Court is no decision for the trial of Trucy Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution? Prosecutor Sadmati?
1,000 pardons. It was rude of me to keep you waiting. I was praying for the victim.
Oh, praying. Yes, I see. You're a Christ monk, correct, prosecutor?
Yes, that is correct. I am but a lowly monk from the kingdom of Crine. I beg in advance for the forgiveness and kind patience of everyone here in this court. I am unfamiliar with the proceedings of this country, and may make many blunders.
Seems like he's such a gentle-mannered soul, doesn't he? I wonder if Emma had a chance to talk with him about Trucy.
Now then, Prosecutor Sadmati, your opening statement, if you would.
Certainly, in the name of the Holy Mother, I vow to guide the victim's soul to a land of eternal peace, known as the Twilight Realm. Now, let the last rites of the victim begin.
Nayuta Sadmati. He's really been making a name for himself, apparently, but that nickname, Last Rights Prosecutor, wonder how that'll come into play today.
The incident took place in the middle of a spectacular magic show. The accused performed a magic trick in which she thrust a sword into a coffin. A coffin from which the body of the victim then spilled out, dead from a fatal stabbing. The victim's name was Man of Mystery.
Look, the game was never subtle with its names, but come on. I'll be your guide, peace, love, and understanding, man of mystery. Come on.
His blood was found on the sword that was used during the magic trick.
Autopsy report added to the court record. So his death was just an unfortunate accident?
It is only natural for one to assume as such, Your Honor. However, it was no mere accident, but rather a homicide. The prosecution's point is thus that this was a murder made to look like an accident.
I see. And you believe that this crime was committed by the defendant?
After a thorough consideration of all possible scenarios, I, unfortunately, had no other choice but to conclude as much.
So that's how it's gonna be, huh? I guess I couldn't convince him after all.
Very well, and now let us hear from the defense.
Naturally, we maintain the defendant is innocent, Your Honor.
If the defense wouldn't mind, could you please explain your reasoning?
Yep, that's kind of the whole point here. My reasoning? Well, I would have to say that my main reason is because I believe in the defendant.
I see. So you find it difficult to come up with anything more concrete than that, do you? What a fine demonstration of the fact that you are indeed a lawyer of putrid mind.
Putrid mind?
Prosecutor Salmati?
Excuse me, but
If you don't mind asking, Prosecutor, what was that you were just chanting?
A suture of the Holy Mother that guides those of tainted soul towards enlightenment. It is a Karainist incantation to awaken the foolish from their fruitless slumber. Fitting for a lawyer who indulges in such fancy as the innocence of the accused.
I see. So basically you're asking the defense to get real?
Allow me these few words, defense. It is my duty as a monk to punish sinners and to guide victims' souls to the Twilight Realm. Should you show repentance and admit to the accused's guilt now, no harm will come to you. But, should you interfere with my sacred last rites for the victim, then I shall cast you down into the pit of hell along with Trucy Wright.
now wait just 1 minute here. Putrid? Pit of Hell, is that any way to address someone in the court of law?
Prosecutor Salmati, that may be the way you conduct trials in Karain, but I would appreciate it if you would refrain from such charged language here.
Your Honor, that was but a Karainist sermon for those who have strayed from the path. Harsh words are often necessary to admonish contemptible deviants who cannot see reason.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize.
I guess they really do hate defense attorneys in Karain, huh? Yeah! You don't say! Even still, that was way, way over the top as far as verbal abuse goes, and the trial's only just begun. Yeah, we're only 8 minutes into this.
Well, defense, suppose the way a prosecutor does things varies by country. Why don't we look at this as a cross-cultural exchange and try to be open-minded about it?
What?
Bailiff, please bring in the first witness.
Alright.
Bloody fucking hell.
And here I was thinking we were done of the fucking snackadoodles. Look, it's a small thing, right? Her actual personality's better. The writers of this game very clearly said, ha, f*** you, Apollo Justice writers. We're putting her back the way she was in Rise from the Ashes. If she wants to keep eating her snackadoodles, that's fine. And if you're gonna call me a hypocrite because way you made fun of the snackadoodles in Apollo Justice, yeah, because there was a lot, but that was not the only part of her character that was BS in that game. There was a lot more that was broken in Apollo Justice if you don't, if in case you forgot that game. So it's still a problem in this game that that stupid snackadoodles is her gimmick. But because the rest of her personality is intact, it's not as big of a deal. Anyway, okay.
Detective Scott, the courtroom is no place for gorging yourself.
What's wrong with having a little snack? Girls gotta eat, right? She, seems a little stressed out.
Detective Sky, your testimony, please.
Yeah, about that. I just want to state for the record that I believe Trucy Wright is innocent.
I'm sorry?
Detective Sky, the path you seek to follow is misguided. Giving the wrongdoer false hope will only deepen her despair in the end.
But
Let it go. And move on. Acts which go against your duty will earn you divine punishment from the Holy Mother.
Okay, let's limit the snackadoodles, thank you. Fine, I don't know about the divine part, but I get the punishment. I get the punishment a bit loud and clear. I guess someone gotta sign tons of paperwork or something for sticking up for Trucy. She and Prosecutor Samani don't seem to get along very well, do they?
Shall we continue? The prosecution contends that the accused had a clear motive. The evidence, if you would, Detective Sky.
Alright, please take a look at this poster. It's a Troop Grammy poster from 13 years ago. Yeah, and just so you know, let's see who we got here. We got... which one was which? Yellow... we're gonna call you Yellow Man and Red Man. One of you's named Zach, and the other one's named... I don't know. Banana Man. I think the red one is Zach. So we got Zach and we got Banana Man. And then we got Lanoir in the back. We got Houdini in front and center. That's probably Magnific Gremory. And then someone else who got canceled with X's on his arm. Okay, sure. That person was not in Apollo Justice. You know what, maybe that's the reason why the game was so bad. Maybe the reason why Apollo Justice was so bad is because they didn't have all the members. They didn't have all the members of the troop, of the Gremory troop. That's why. If they had that extra member, maybe that game... No, who am I kidding? That game's a piece of shit from start to finish. Nothing could have fixed it. Is it just me, or is it a little different from the one in Mr. Wright's dressing room? I just said Mr. Wright's dressing room. This is a revised version of that poster. This one says canceled under Mr. Roos. That's right. Oh, that's Mr. Roos. Okay. That's right. Mr. Roos is left the troop after the first version of the poster was printed. Take a look at Mr. Roos's fight forearm near his elbow. See the big scar there? He apparently got that when he made a mistake while practicing a magic trick. Ouch, that's quite a scar. Because of that accident, Magnific Gremory concluded Mr. Roos was too unskilled. This before the show was to open. Magnific announced Mr. Roos wouldn't be appearing. But in defiance of Magnific's decision, Mr. Roos tried to go on stage anyway. This, in turn, caused Magnific to oust Mr. Roos from the troop on the spot.
You kicked Mr. Roos out? That seems rather extreme. Did you really have to go that far?
When it comes to magic, Troop Gremory was so passionate, or should I say extreme, about it that it caused problems from them from time to time.
Yet, even they caused this court a mountain of trouble with their extreme antics.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they did, and I won't be forgetting those antics anytime soon.
And now, the troop's successor has committed a murder. It seems the troop's rare talent was inherited by the right person after all. A putrid talent for criminality.
You sound rather extreme yourself, Prosecutor. Yeah, this guy's like Edgeworth, but without any of the charm. Like, he's got the smug attitude that Edgeworth had, except without any of the charm. It's like,
Criminals with impure souls do not deserve sympathy, Your Honor. Ahem. As I was saying, after his expulsion, Mr. Roos apparently went on to hold a grudge against the troop. He would tell those close to him, "I will get my revenge on Troop Gremory someday."
Revenge, That certainly sounds antagonistic.
13-year-old poster updated in the court record.
And then his chance for revenge finally came. If you'd be so kind, Detective Sky.
I guess I don't have a choice, do I? Alright. First witness testimony outside the Kingdom of Khura'in. Defendant's motive. The victim planned to get his revenge on Troop Gremory during Trucy's magic show. Mr. Roos was going to first steal the Gremory notebook from the defendant. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind the magic tricks during the show. That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did in fact steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
I mean, I don't know about that. Like, I'm pretty sure what's gonna end up being the case is that, the victim was murdered ahead of time, like, before the actual show. But they don't, like, I'm gonna need you to explain how you came to that conclusion.
Objection!
That's nothing but conjecture.
The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFame, gave the police a statement. She testified that just before the start of the show, Mr. Roos said, "I'm going to reveal all of Troop Gremory's secrets on stage today."
What? Well, that isn't really a great starting point for rebuttal, is it? You're telling me.
Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense.
Oh, and what's that? Oh?
Let it go, and move on.
Excuse me?
Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. One possessed of an unclean soul will burn in the flames of hell, and then be ever burdened with that sin in their next life.
But I don't believe in that sort of thing. Besides, I have no intention of giving up. He even does the head shake that Edgeworth does.
Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. All actions have consequences, and yours will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life.
A stink bug?
No, it's a stink bug.
That's a great... Oh, I wish I had that nickname. Oh, I so wish I had that nickname for him in Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Like, not that Captain Shit isn't the best nickname ever for Apollo, obviously. But
Come on, calling him Mr. Stinkbug would have been so funny. Okay, cross-examination time. Well, I don't have any contradictions to point out, but that's new. The penalty meter is 5 attorney's badges instead of the bar. Victim planning against revenge, steal the first, okay. Defendant revealed secrets, victim's plan for revenge, while he did in fact steal the notebook, defendant murdered him before he had a chance to see you. Do you have any evidence for that? I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was murder?
Beats me.
What? The basis is beats me?
You'll have to ask Prosecutor Samadi over there because he hasn't told me his reasoning either. Detective Sky, your feeling of information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. The bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge upon you in your next life, but even before that, it may impinge upon your job in the form of a transfer.
Ah! Please don't get me kicked out of the 4 ranks unit, anything but that! Poor Emma, she's really been risking everything for us. Well, Prosecutor Samadi, what are your grounds for claiming homicide?
There was a luminous tape in the interstage passage. I realized that it had been moved. Moved so that Mr. Roos would climb up into the downstage coffin by mistake.
What?
Mr. Roos, who was waiting in the interstage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder shown here on the left. He was to climb up into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area. After being turned into a stuffed dragon during Act 1, Mr. Roos was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin, but the luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage itself by mistake. The very same coffin the accused thrust her sword into.
And you have proof it was my client who moved the tape?
But of course, Detective Sky.
Oh, that's right. I identified the defendant's fingerprints on the... What? Trucy wears gloves, you dingus! You what? He actually had proof?
Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on?
Absolutely not. Defective, please add the information about the prints of your tape to your testimony. She wears gloves!
She wears gloves when it's printed on the tape! What do you mean? Trucy wears gloves! You silly chickens!
We did not find her prints on the coffin. It's like, she wears gloves! I'm sorry to tell you, but that's a flaw in your testimony. A really big fucking flaw.
Oh, really?
The prosecution is claiming that Mr. Wright moved the onstage tape during the show, in order to guide the victim into the coffin downstage. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time. It doesn't? Please consider the fingerprint results of the main coffin, which shows that not one of my client's fingerprints were found on or in it.
That's true, we didn't find any of your prints on that coffin.
I think you realize what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Miss Wright left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Because she was wearing gloves during the show! Oh! Yeah, no wonder everyone gets a guilty verdict in the Kingdom of Karine. She must have left the prints sometime before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecution's investigation was insufficient.
Oh my! But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that.
Well, Prosecutor Samadi, if the defense's argument is true, then you have no evidence that the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim.
I see. Apparently the defense is more intelligent than I had thought. More than a stink bug at any rate.
Come on, you can bump me into at least a stag beetle now, can't you? Would that really be any better? Of course, way better. Stag beetles are cool with those huge mandibles of theirs.
If the defense wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle, then answer me this question.
Alright, shoot.
Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim still climbed the ladder using the tape as a guide, and entered the coffin on the stage. An accused then thrust her sword into said coffin with the victim in it.
So what you're saying is the fact remains that the victim was stabbed to death, right?
Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of this case. If the accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose, then it means the victim's death could have been accidental. If it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue it was involuntary manslaughter.
I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could plead extenuating circumstances, and the severity of the crime could be mitigated.
Defense, if you believe the accused did not murder the victim, then do you argue it was an accident?
No, it was definitely a murder, it's just that Trucy didn't do it. This is it, the all-important question. The defense argues that Mr. Reese's death was murder. It was definitely a murder, it's just that Trucy wasn't the one who actually killed him. The defense maintains the defendant is entirely innocent. We believe that it wasn't an accident but murder. And what's more, we believe it was committed by a third party.
A third party? As in the true culprit is someone else? That is quite a brazen claim to make, and one wholly without grounds. Your voice is as loud as your suit, and your mind echoes just as loud in emptiness. Surely you were but a loud red pepper in your previous life.
I've been demoted to a vegetable. Wow, I didn't... Oh no, wait, that was probably funny. Wait, no, I want the funny line. I didn't know a person can be reincarnated as a non-sentient plant. In any case, I do have grounds to make this claim.
Let us hear this reasoning of yours, then.
Alright, before I give it, there was one question we need to address. If the victim was killed by some third party, then the sword of the defendant thrust into the coffin wasn't the cause of death. If that's the case, then how do we wind up with a dead body inside the coffin? How did the victim's body wind up inside the... He was killed on the stage. Yeah, he wouldn't have been killed on... It was magic. What if the victim was killed on the stage before being put in the coffin? Like I said, it would have been done beforehand. Yeah. Oh, I see. In that case, the defendant's sword wouldn't have been the actual cause of death. How do you respond, Prosecutor Samadi?
This is the third time.
The third time of what? Ha! That's a pretty nice throw. What the heck is this? Ah! My head! What do you think you're doing?
Even the merciful Holy Mother loses patience as she is struck 3 times. Since you never learned, you needed to be punished.
Why don't you let me worry about what I need and don't need?
It is what you deserve for interfering with my sacred last rites for the victim. You are but a brainless lawyer chasing phantoms.
No, we did that in the last game. Successfully, might I add.
Let this humble servant of the Holy Mother give you an edifying sermon.
A sermon? Now?
There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Koreanism. A cornered frog will swallow even a snake.
Huh? A cornered lawyer has unexpectedly struck back hard against the prosecution. Did I get it right?
No, for I am not done with my sermon. And yet the frog still dies, its belly bitten and torn from within.
Just great.
And in this case, you are that frog, defense.
What exactly is your point anyway?
Let us assume for a moment that the victim was killed under the stage. Who then had the opportunity to do so during the show?
Let's see, the people in the show were...
Bonnie DeFame, the victim is Roos, and Trucy Wright. Bonnie DeFame was on stage throughout the entire show, as easily confirmed by the footage from the show. Which leaves us with only one suspect, Trucy Wright.
Ah!
Now do you see? The accused killed Mr. Roos as he waited on standby at the end of stage passage, and then placed his dead body in the coffin above, thus making the murder look like an accident.
Ah!
Oh, great and merciful Holy Mother. Thus another future mind has been guided toward enlightenment.
I can't believe I swallowed a question whole. Are you really trying to tell me that Trucy could have freaking carried that body all the way up to the top into the coffin? No. False. Incorrect. Sorry, but I have to raise an objection here. Athena, what do you... There's something I want to point out, Apollo.
And who might you be? You strike me as a mere child in countenance.
I may be young, but I have an attorney's badge just the same.
And you would contribute to this discussion in that capacity?
I most certainly would. You just argued the defendant killed the victim under the stage, but let me remind you that Miss Wright is a girl.
Clearly. Sure, you didn't raise an objection simply point out such an obvious fact. Your Honor, please send for this little child's guardian to come take her home.
Oh, you're such a prick. But I'm not done my sermon. You don't need to talk to prosecutor. You don't need to talk like Prosecutor Samani, you know. Listen, if the victim was killed in the stage passage, then his body would then have to have been hauled up to the stage, right? However, Miss Wright is a young girl and a pretty petite one at that. She couldn't possibly have hefted that large body up and put it into the coffin. That's true. It does seem like it would be a rather difficult task for the defendant. I don't think even I could do it. Why do you get that, prosecutor? Who's the child now? Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said earlier.
In my religion, the priestesses of Koreanism are revered as the pillars of our beliefs, so I naturally hold nothing but deep respect for women. I also think highly of the female perspective.
Says the man who called this fair maiden a little child. Yeah, I was about to say, like, buddy, you wanna rewind a little bit? Think about what just happened like 30 seconds ago? It was a fair maiden.
I agree that your point is worth discussing, defense. How indeed was the dead body raised up into the coffin? By the accused Trucy Wright, that is.
You committed to pointing the finger at her no matter what, huh? Then you explain how that even be possible.
But of course, there was a way for even a small creature like her to raise the victim's body up.
Huh? Wait.
I foresaw that our arguments would come to this, so I have prepared a witness.
Whoa, I admire your readiness, prosecutor.
It is really not that difficult when one can read the ultimate outcome of any trial.
Oh, and if that's the case, then you should know that we're gonna prove Trucy not guilty, so you shouldn't even be here in the first place. He couldn't have really predicted that things would turn out like this, could he? I mean, Edgeworth did that in Turnabout Beginnings, but he actually did it because he's freaking intelligent as all hell and he's a genius. But this guy is just like, I've seen into the future, and I know that you are going to lose. It's pretty hard to believe.
Excuse me, but may I step down now?
Yes, I suppose you may.
One moment, Detective Sky. I'm sorry for, the way I handled all this. You did a fine job, Detective. Your testimony was invaluable. It was? Yes, you served well as a detective and did not allow your personal feelings to interfere. You overcame the conflicted emotions you felt and performed your duty admirably. You will be rewarded for your fine work. Oh, thank you. I hope we can work together again in the future.
Emma seems bewildered by the unexpected praise.
I guess he's a pretty nice person like they say, as long as you're not up against him.
Now then, let us call the next witness.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. It's very nice to meet all of you. I'm a lagomorphic illusionist from the land of fairy tales, spawning to fame.
Please, witness. There is a time and a place for all things, including magic.
Oh, but would it be okay if I just a little magic, please? Come on, please! Look, everybody's waiting. That's my chance to shine.
That is your second time.
My second time doing what?
There will be no further warnings. You should know that from our preparatory meeting, correct?
Is no one exempt from His Holiness's rosary of suffering? May we have your testimony, witness? Won't you recover for your disappointment?
Well, as a huge fan of Trucy's, I didn't really want to testify against her, but I guess I have to, don't I?
As a huge fan of Trucy's, huh? Sure, you're a real fan, alright, of destroying Trucy, you mean? Alright, here we go. The Understage Passage.
I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Roos. If it's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body, if it's used a stage lift, it's possible could Trucy really have just used the stage lift. I think she must have used stage lift number 2. It's on stage for the entire show.
Okay. You were on stage the whole time?
There is no question the entire audience could testify to that fact. What's more, she is shown clearly in the TV show footage as well.
I could possibly kill Mr. Roos, not little old me.
Therefore, the only person who could have killed the victim understage is the accused. Furthermore, by using a stage lift, even a petite young lady could have raised the body up to the stage without difficulty.
You gotta be kidding me. Very well, defense may cross-examine the witness. Oh boy. Okay, well, nothing jumps out at me this time, so let's just press everything we can to get as much information as possible. Huh? Mr. Fame? Are you feeling alright? You seem suddenly different.
Oh, oops. Where did that come from, right? Oh my, I snapped there for a second, didn't I?
You didn't just snap, you broke character just now.
Because I was on stage the whole time performing magic. I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling and flawless performance?
Flawless? That's odd, considering what you told me. You said that you made a mistake when you positioned the ass man.
Yeah.
Mr. Fame, to what is the defense referring?
Well, I made a little mistake on stage. I was in charge of operating the ass man, you see? According to the script, I was supposed to place him to the left of the coffin. But I flipped it up and made him stand to the right of the coffin instead.
And because of that mistake, Trucy had to move the stage lifts around.
I feel really bad about messing Trucy up like that with my goof.
Yeah, you really seem like you feel bad about it. Darn, I don't see any inconsistencies in the testimony.
Now, do you know who the real killer is? Come on, Gramps! Don't you sit there, hand down your ruling pronto! Do it quick for you kneel over up there!
I beg your pardon?
Oops! What's gotten into me? I'm so sorry.
I give her another 5 minutes before she tears off that mask.
Well, defense? Are you ready to let it all go now?
Of course not, I'll never give up.
I see. I suppose this too is fate. The sacred scriptures of Karanism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you who struggles ceaselessly against his fate, Papal Bolshevik seems most appropriate.
What? Oh wait, that's Karanese. Well, what sort of terrible place is Papal Bolshevik?
A place where the moral one struggles, and further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, the ferocious beast awaits. Think of it as something akin to an antlion sandpit trap.
Oh, there's one of those in my backyard.
Wow, Carina's hell is closer to home than I thought.
Now then, it would appear that the witness's testimony supports the prosecution's claims, that the defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim on the stage.
How are we supposed to get out of this jam? Hey, Apollo, if you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use in a little psychology. Oh, yes, you mean, I heard some discord in Bonnie's voice while she was testifying. Ha ha ha. See? We're picking up on the noise in her heart, too. That's right, I think they can hear things. Yeah. We know how the moon matrix works. Let's get to it. Alright, Athena, let's give it a try. You got it!
Hold it!
Your Honor! I'm afraid that our witness, Miss Defame, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident.
She is?
Yes, well, with that terrible death on stage and her beloved Trucy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she is unfit to testify.
Oh, I've heard of that. What is it called? Postal stress disorder. It's where a person becomes so controlled angry, I think. I read about it somewhere.
That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD.
Oh, why? So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times. Is she were a different person?
Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness.
Huh? Therapy? You know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. I've risked my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half. Oopsie, boy, I have to watch my temper, don't I?
Miss Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady. These poor unfortunate souls.
And what exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice?
With their super sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear or witness his true emotions. Yeah, we know how the mood... I can even pick up... Yep, we know how the mood matrix works.
It sounds like some sort of spurious devilry, though I find it hard to believe, I must ask. How do emotions constitute evidence?
Well, I won't say that emotions can be taken as evidence, per se. I have seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try.
I see. If you are in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness.
I'll disturb you.
Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Sadmati. Apollo, you remember how to conduct the therapy session, right? You want me to lead the session? Of course, you're the lead in this case, after all. Fair enough, let him do I need it. No, we do not need a refresher. For the love of God. Okie dokie. You ready, Widget?
Let's do this.
I doubt it's gonna be any harder than it was in Dual Destinies, since it looks the same so far, but it's still a pretty awesome mechanic. Alright, here we go.
I guess Trucy's the one who killed Mr. Roos. Makes sense that you'd be sad slash, yeah, sad. Even she can move the body with that lift. Yeah, okay, seems consistent. I was on stage at the time. Yeah, that's a neutral statement. No reason for an emotional reacting there. But that terrible mistake, surprised at the mistake, okay. My stupid flub caused Trucy so much trouble. Sad, alright. I feel so bad about it. And yet you're happy about it. That's probably because you messed her up on purpose. I had to say, Mr. Fame, you certainly are a strange one. Even though you said I feel so bad about it, seems you were feeling happy about it.
Oh.
I think I can guess why you were feeling happy. Must be because you messed Trucy up. I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I?
You gotta be kidding me! Why would I be happy I missed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of hers.
Because we saw you. We saw how you said you hated Trucy Wright, how you were glad she was in trouble, and even how it was what she deserved. Looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Alright, 50%, that's good. Paul, the noise level dropped. If we can get it down to 0%, well, Mr. Fame, are you ready to confess how you really feel?
What do you mean? I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. I'm a rookie magician working hard to be just like my idol Trucy. That's the character I'm supposed to be.
Keep that up, Mr. Fame, and you're going to have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are!
Who I really am?
The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I can hear them, two distinct voices battling inside you.
Shut your pie hole, you know-nothing know-it-all. I mean, you mustn't say things like that or I might get flustered.
Mr. Fame, how long do you insist on maintaining this wolf in sheep's clothing act? Oh god, we're zooming in so much.
Don't make me laugh. You don't know a dang thing about me. You want to see who I really am? Fine. Take a good look.
What the f***? Bonnie the Bat? What in the world?
She's clothing. You got it all wrong. It's a rabbit suit I've got on. And I'm not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bat with fangs and wings.
I think we just opened a Pandora's box.
I'm finally done with that goody two-shows cottontail act. I feel free as a bat.
Alright then. My voice is gonna be dead by the end of this. Not that that's anything new. Defense, your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse from the looks of it. There's a perfectly good explanation for this, isn't there, Miss Sykes? Me thinks I created a monster. We blew it.
Hey you, lobster boy.
What, who, me?
You think I'm glad Trucy's in trouble? I think she's just getting her just desserts. Well, guess what? You're right.
Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm?
Well, the bat's out of the bag now. The mistake of mine was a work of art. Thanks to that goof, poor little Trucy had to do all that hard physical labor.
When you said hard physical labor, what are you referring? What do you think she's referring to? Yeah, exactly, pushing the stupid thing.
It must have been so heavy. What a riot!
That's strange. Oh! Oh, wait, she didn't tell anybody about that! I didn't get that immediately. I didn't catch that immediately, but Apollo said, he just said, add that to your testimony. I'm like, wait, why do you want that added to the testimony? And then I remembered, Trucy said, where's the thing? Where's Trucy's statement? Trucy moved the stage, let's cover Bonnie's speech. She told no one about this. She told no one about it. She has no reason to know that. She has absolutely no reason to know that unless she was under the stage, which also doesn't make any sense because she was already seen to be on the stage. So we're kind of stuck there. Wait a minute! Wait, okay, I just had a crazy idea. Where's the fingerprint results? Here they are. Okay, prints on the coffin lid, Bonnie to Fame. Prints on the side panels, Mr. Roos. Prints on the top panel, unknown. There's one person who left prints on the top panel who we do not know. And earlier, Bonnie was surprised because the prosecutor said, during our meeting yesterday, I said this thing, and she's like, oh, yeah, right. And that would explain it. That would explain why she has these two different personalities. Because they're not the same person. There's two of them. They're twins. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I don't think you understand. We're in a series where they've already pulled the twin trick before. We swung somebody across a cavern with a rope dangling from a bridge. We had the stupid turnabout big top bullshit. We had the entirety of Apollo Justice's bullshit. We had Damien Tenma pretending to be like the monster, like caw, caw. So at this point, for them to pull another twin trick would not surprise me in the slightest. I think that's it. I think that's exactly what we're getting at here. Can I please get out of this stupid menu? Hey, Paul, is now listening to a consistency in the testimony. Yeah, she found the symptoms. So what do I need to do now? Well, for this point, I would just do what you... Yeah, thanks. I got it. I got it. I figured it out. Admittedly, it took me a little bit longer to figure this out than I probably should have. I should have figured out... The second she said that she ended up having to move the state, I should have immediately been like, oh, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. But, you know, I still got it. Okay. Trucy's statement. Objection! That doesn't make sense.
What? You think I'm crazy now?
No, that's not the point I was trying to make. We'll bring that up a different time.
But are you denying it?
Mr. Fame, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts.
Hey, that's right.
But how did you know? How did you know Miss Wright moved the stage lifts? According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone she had done so.
What?
So how could you possibly have known what she had done? Unless you saw her. You saw Miss Wright. That's a very creepy visual you got going on there. Alright, we got it down to 0%.
Bye-bye.
You did it, Apollo! Those levels are at 0%!
But, Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean... Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Fame himself was under the stage where the victim was killed. And I hardly need to tell the court what that means. You are one artful liar, Mr. Fame, and one spectacular suspect.
Why, you shiny red lobster boy. You're saying I killed Mr. Roos?
I'm saying that it's a possibility. What's more, I say you had a solid motive to frame my client for the murder as well.
My apologies for raining on the defense's merry revelry. But you seem to have forgotten one very important point.
Oh, really?
The TV footage, as you can clearly see. Mr. Fame was on the stage the whole time.
Yeah, one of the Bonnies was on the stage, but the other one was underneath the stage.
You have just taken a long and senseless journey, only to return to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understage passage, which means the only one who could have killed the victim is the accused.
Ah, nope, wrong. But Mr. Fame knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, Bartsuko said Marty?
It's quite simple. The accused must have told Mr. Fame and nodded and then forgot.
This happened in a single day. Huh?
Ha! Happiness, use the size of yours and take a good look at the footage.
If Mr. Fame really wasn't in the stage passage, it would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time. You mean she was in two places at once? Yep. Yes, they were. They were in two places at once. That doesn't make it make sense. Your Honor, the witness was both on stage and understage at the same time. That is the defense's assertion. I've heard some logical things come out of you before, but this is absurd. Oh, this is absurd. This is absurd. But arresting Maki Tobei for a 14-year-old kid who can fire a .45 caliber revolver when sitting his shoulder. No. Contain the rage. Contain the rage. We've already ranted about why that's the worst fucking case in the world. We're not gonna go into it again. All we're gonna say is that, judge of all the things that were illogical, you should not be saying anything about them if you're gonna gloss over the stupid Turnabout serenade bullshit. Very well, Mr. Justice. How do you explain that the witness in two places at once? There were two... She teleported. There were two Bonnies. If I can hit the button. Hit the button! There we go. There were two Bonnies, Your Honor. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? There were... two of them?
I suspected you had a few screws,
But now I see yours are missing altogether.
Is there a toolkit in this courtroom, Your Honor? I suppose 2? No, 3 screws to the head should right in his putrid brain.
Very well, bailiff, can you... No, wait, please listen to my argument. Very well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least give it a listen. As was argued earlier, Mr. Fame is shown in the footage the whole time, but at the same time she was also watching the Miss Wright in the other stage passage. There are the only possible explanations that there are two Bonnies. Almost sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor said, Marty?
This humble servant of the Holy Mother. That we should lose no time in replacing the
As many lost screws. But Apollo, it goes against reality still to say that one person's actually two, but we don't have to be bound by reality. After all, we're talking about magic here. So if the Bonnie defame in the footage is the real Bonnie, and the Bonnie here on the witness stand, the one who must have been on the stage, this Bonnie defame is our second Bonnie. She is? Sake, we call the one in front of us Bonnie number 2. I believe I have just a piece of evidence to prove that the Miss Bonnie number 2 exists. Oh, then please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of Bonnie number 2? That fingerprinting results because there's one set of fingerprints that is unidentifiable. What's this? During our investigation, we found a set of unknown prints at the coffin on the stage. These prints were most likely left during the course of the show, but they didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case.
An unknown third party's fingerprints? I was not told of this.
Emma must have kept it from him. That's the Emma I know. So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Mr. Fame, or should I say Bonnie number 2. These are your fingerprints, aren't they? Ah, there's the pursuit music.
Enough of this foolishness. One person could not possibly be 2. Those fingerprints could have been left not only during the show, but at any time.
It's not like you to lose your cool like that, Prosecutor said, Marty. And I'm sure you know that exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue here. What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice? The issue is who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie defames. But what if they belong to the person standing right in front of us? Oh, you mean Bonnie number 2 is the second Bonnie? Is that what you're implying?
It's preposterous to suggest that those prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other individual.
Prosecutor Samani, can you look at her and still say that?
What are you looking at? Take a picture, it'll last longer.
How could this be?
If we check her prints, I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to the real you belong to you, don't they, Bonnie number 2? Witness, is what the defense has said true?
Fine, I admit it. The fingerprints are mine.
Then does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFame?
What? Ridiculous.
Nope, there's only one Bonnie. That's because I'm Betty. Betty DeFame.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show! Gasp in amazement at this light-morphing illusionist, the former teleportation magic! Watch closely, it's showtime!
Oh. What the f***? Apollo's face is perfect for this. Athena's face in the hand. Athena seems to be enjoying this a little too much. Okay. Yep, I was right. They're twins. What an amazing trick. The witness is suddenly split into 2 people.
It's not a trick, no gimmick to it either. We're simply twins.
What? Wait. You people didn't actually think that she was capable of splitting herself in 2, did you? Tell me you're not that stupid.
Ever since our debut, I've had to hide to pretend I'm Bonnie. How cute and sweet and goody-goody. I can't tell you how stressful it's been. I don't have to hide anymore.
That's right, our days of sneaking around are finally over.
Their cover is blown, but they actually seem pretty happy about it. So would you use the nice Bonnie DeFame we met in the dressing room?
That would be me.
And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw with the ratings Raj on her stage was...
Hey, who are you calling a sharp-tongued?
It's all starting to make sense now. Fingerprinting results updated in the court record. Ha 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 ha. That's a pretty big contradiction right there. So Mr. Justice, this changes the fact of the case rather dramatically, doesn't it? Certainly does. Starting to show it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time, so Bonnie couldn't have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was on her stage, did have the opportunity. Well, so we now have 2 suspects.
Wait just a minute there, Lobster Boy. I didn't do it.
That's right, Betty might have a foul mouth, but she never kill anybody.
Uh-huh.
Hey, who's got a foul mouth here?
Oh,
Well, speak up, huh?
Please save your sibling squabbling for later. I don't know, the whole shoulder jabbing thing's kind of amusing. Betty, you must have been in the interstage passage during the show, otherwise you wouldn't have known about the stage lifts being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there?
Fine, I'll testify. Anything to get you off my back.
Prosecutor somebody, Betty DeFame is ready to testify. What do you say?
Betty, you lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Hey, what else could I do? I can blow a cover and ruin our magic act. Besides, am I gonna go to your Twilight Hell or whatever for being a liar?
You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather, I shall give you a taste of your punishment on this mortal coil in interrogation hell.
Now then, Betty DeFame, please explain to this court what exactly you were doing under the stage. Okay. Double witness testimony. This is new.
It's true, I had business in there in the stage passage because of the upcoming trick.
it was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Roos is supposed to do?
That's right, it was a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure I prepared for it.
What? No, you didn't. The fire trick was canceled. Okay, so it was canceled, yeah, but they wouldn't have known about that ahead of. Wait, wait, of course you would have known it ahead of time, because if she, okay, got it, right, I should have figured that out sooner. So she knew, alright, so she knew that the fire trick was going to be canceled, because she knew that she was going to set Trucy up. Okay, that's the piece of evidence right there. And you know that they didn't actually set up the fire trick. You wanna know why? Because the stupid fire bucket hasn't been touched in like 3 centuries because there's so much dust inside of it. Okay, I gotta admit, this set of witnesses is actually really, really impressive. Omar, she's floating. Your Honor. You can see she's being held up from below. You were supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette. I don't have etiquette for murderers. I can't help it whenever I see contradiction makes I just have to point it out. No, then, the defense may give against force. Words are hard. Okay. Right. Yeah, so, what happened on the stage? You say that you had to prepare for the dangerous trick, which would have been the fire trick. Yeah, this will be dangerous, make sure the fire bucket is ready, so you would have touched the fire bucket. I said, no, you didn't because it was empty and dust lined the inside of the pail.
Objection!
And the only reason you would have, the only reason you wouldn't have tried to prepare for the trick is because you knew that the show was going to be canceled as soon as Trucy stuck the sword in there and they realized that he was dead. I had to register it was a big floating testimony, as big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier.
Ooh, harsh words. Let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick.
No one except me, you mean?
Oh, we have even better tricks up our sleeves.
We do? I told you to keep it zipped. No, don't fight you two, Mr. Justice. What is about a flaw in the testimony? The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous, make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust. You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty? But in a favor, you will explain yourself.
There's nothing to explain. Come on, Betty, we can't hide it any longer. We may as well tell him.
Shut up! You can barely take care of yourself. Don't try to tell me what to do.
Well, if you'll explain, I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is she knew the show wasn't gonna go on. You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew the body would be found and that the show would then be cancelled.
Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna take those lame bangs of yours off. Is that what you want?
Objection!
Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already.
I can't reveal my secrets to the magician.
Yeah, well, Trucy did it earlier, so just join the club.
You've been chasing the shadow of an illusory culprit, defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you have let yourself get carried away.
Exactly, where's your proof,
And yet, I can see that the witness's taste for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness.
Deceitful trickery.
As your court-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again.
But all these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison for real. So I'll be behind bars either way.
Does that mean you're admitting your guilt?
Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do. You. Lobster boy, Cubone geezer, Hicks case brat, Cerberus monk.
Betty, calm down. Calm on now. Deep breaths.
Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you.
Then how'd you know the show would be called before the fire trick?
I told you we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract.
Contract? What is she talking about? I'm guessing Tony Stark got involved. Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case.
I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case.
Huh?
Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the interstate passage, and second, that the witness and the accused are the only two who could have done it.
Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found, and that it was magic show would then be called off. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim under stage.
But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some other reason?
Like what?
In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. That, in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion, all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance.
Planned out?
After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media in this country. I read the newspaper, old news reports, even browsed tabloid magazines.
How very industrious of you, I'm impressed.
During this process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world, a practice called the hidden camera prank. Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended. You two were informed of this plan. By tape to TV in advance, correct?
Is that true?
Betty, please let's tell him now. I can't hold it anymore.
Dang it, fine, you guys. Everyone in the prosecutor said it's true. The news station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan.
I wonder what that means for Mr. Stark.
It was all a prank, a big setup and planned out in advance. Mr. Rouge should have been at that coffin. Zippy's falling down. It was all completely scripted.
It was all a prank? Bonnie, is this really true?
Yes, Mr. Roos is supposed to pretend to be dead. Is how it's supposed to go.
So he was in on it too?
That's right. You're supposed to show up dead in the coffin, and then Zippy used to fall down. Trucy would be shocked and start to panic.
That's how this prank's right?
What? What the heck kind of prank is that?
But we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Poor Mr. Roos.
I'm so completely lost right now. Well, Buddy and Bonnie, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do.
Alright, I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Just this one tool, sure, I was done with you. So listen careful, you never hear this kind of thing anywhere else. At a teleportation trick, I went down on the stage. When Mr. Roos' body appeared from the coffin on stage, it was time for Betty to do a job on the onstage passage. That's right, when I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon set piece, and made it fall down.
And just before the dragon fell, I called Trucy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt.
After that, the plan was for Mr. Roos to come back to life in front of a panicked Trucy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That was scripted anyway, but for some reason he really did turn up dead, so he just kind of stayed on the ground.
What kind of sick prank is that? It sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was starting to do her magic show.
I guess so. I'm sorry, Trucy.
Whatever, it was all that ratings Roger's idea anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like you just kind of thing a guy like him would come up with.
This is the prank plan script we got from the ratings, Raja.
Prank plan script add to the court record.
Dang it, you make us break our contract, now we won't get paid!
But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim and when?
Yes, exactly, those are the key questions. If Mr. Roos was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as a part of the prank, then when he was under stage, there would still be life within him, and if that is the case, then Betty, who was also on stage, may be excluded from our list of suspects.
Yeah, but she could still have been the one who switched the stupid swords around. Because someone had to switch the rubber sword for the real sword. So that very much could have been her since the sword stand was down there.
Greetings, viewers, it is I, the great Mr. Roos. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trick.
Was this a vlog? Hey guys, Mr. Roos here, back at it again, back at you again with another YouTube vlog here today. So today, guys, what we're gonna do is, having stuck to the interstate passage down the tech, I'm now hiding backstage, preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see what happens next. I'm about to hide, but first, a word from our sponsors. I'm about to hide in the coffin with Trucy will stab with her rubber sword, and when the coffin opens a hole, I'll be in it, acting so I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? Oh, I can hardly wait. He's about to hide in the coffin.
It would seem the threads of karmic destiny have led us to the truth. The victim passed through the understage where Betty DeFame was, and that came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mr. Roos appeared to be backstage when he shot the video that he saw.
It appears that way, yes.
And defense, you proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mr. Roos entered the coffin.
Oh, so does that mean...
Yes, it is horrible but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. Went into the coffin where Mr. Roos was hiding. Trucy Wright thrust her blade.
See, told you so.
So are you saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank?
It would be an accident if the accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. So let us ask the accused herself. Miss Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank?
What?
Tell him, Trucy, you didn't know anything about it. Right?
Of course I did. I didn't know a single thing about it.
Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case, you leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence.
Looks like some sort of note.
I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. At the time I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now.
What's this? Let's see, it says get the video camera after Mr. Roos comes tumbling out?
It's a note signed by the accused, instructing Bonnie to collect Mr. Roos's video camera from him, it seems.
I don't get it, it doesn't make any sense.
I found the dressing room before the show, but I saw it when it's Trucy knew about the prank.
What? We've already proven that her signature can be forged. This isn't new information. It was done before, and it was probably done a second time with this. Especially because somebody must have switched the swords around. This means absolutely nothing. The sword probably wasn't the thing that actually killed him, because somebody switched the rubber sword for the real sword in order to frame her.
It would appear so, yes. When she learned about the prank to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage. So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin where the victim stood chuckling to himself. Is that not what happened, Miss Wright? Of course not, I didn't write or sign that note! Ah, but the handwriting matches yours.
Yeah, because it was forged, you dingus.
But I didn't do it, it wasn't me! Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not? I can't explain it, I didn't write it, but
We can explain it.
I didn't kill Mr. Roos, you have to believe me!
This silence is deafening.
Continue struggling against the threads of your own karma if you wish, accused. Even as you are inescapably caught in the web of fate you've spun for yourself. Miss Wright, it is time to resign yourself to your fate. No, I didn't do it!
Ha, I knew it. The sweet-looking girl, a murderer? No, listen. I told you, I knew she was a homicide little witch from the start.
But I didn't do it, I really didn't. Why doesn't anybody believe me?
Shut up, you killer. We don't fire for you anymore.
This is bad. Apollo, you know that the swords were switched. Just point that out.
Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. Give your official ruling, let us offer the victim's soul the last rites it deserves.
Very well, I suppose I have no other choice. This court...
Objection!
The defense has an objection.
Apollo! Even now, you would.
I won't give up, and I refuse to let either of them down. Mr. Wright, who's counting on me, and Trucy, who's put all of her faith in me.
Who's also my sister, but nobody's told me that yet, and no one's apparently going to.
Mr. Justice, the fact that you have raised an objection means that you have evidence with which to refute the prosecution's claims, correct? Yes, of course, Your Honor. Do we really have anything, Apollo? Actually, we do. There's one piece of evidence we can present here. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may proceed. As we saw in the show footage, there's no question the defendant thrust a sword into the coffin. The defense doesn't dispute this point. But let us not forget that this was a magic show filled with tricks and illusions. We can't take everything we see at face value. However, you're under my verdict to make this claim. You will be severely penalized if I find you are bluffing. Ah, that's fine, Your Honor. This shows it's possible the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death.
Take that!
What's this, a sword from the show? That's right, Your Honor. This rubber sword was in the sword stage under hand. Sword stand on the stage. During this trick, Miss Wright was supposed to swap the real sword for a rubber sword, and she told us on record that she remembers she very clearly did that. I see, so the sword was defended thrust in the coffin was a rubber sword, was it? But then why was the steel sword found lying on the stage? Somebody was to put the steel sword there by swapping it around with the rubber one. After the incident occurred, the dragon set piece fell in there, and the theater was evacuated. The real culprit must have used the resulting chaos to swap the rubber sword with the steel one.
Do you not know when to give up, Stinkbug? That is not possible.
I thought it was upgraded to a stag beetle.
Blood was found in the coffin hole that the sword was thrust into. It must have been left there when the accused withdrew the sword. This is incontrovertible proof the sword she used was the steel one.
But that blood could be the result of someone tampering with the crime scene after the fact. After the set piece fell and the audience was cleared out of the theater, there was plenty of time for somebody to plant that blood there.
If the sword the accused used was a rubber one, then when exactly do you propose the victim was killed, given that Mr. Oops is alive when he entered that coffin?
Objection!
Finding the answer to that question is precisely why we need to continue this trial. By all accounts, it is certainly reasonable to suspect the defendant based on the evidence. But as to the question of whether the sword the defendant uses rubber or steel, I believe further discussion is warranted. I suggest we hear from the defendant herself on this issue.
Very well, Your Honor.
Yes, I saved it somehow, but too close for comfort, but still. Crime photo updated in the court record. Alright, we did it. We got it. We're gonna keep on trucking onward. We're getting there. Let's adjourn for a brief 15-minute recess. I advise the prosecution and the defense to use this time to prepare. Phew, that was hairy. Tell me about it. We barely made it through by the skin of my teeth.
I can't say I'm crazy about that prosecutor Samadi either. You know what the way he says, let it go and move on as if it's nothing.
Let it go and move on, huh? Oh, look who it is. It's Tony Stark. Got your next evil scheme in the works already. What do you want? Keep making that face, champ. Everyone's gonna change the channel. Look this way, Trucy. Now, smile for the camera. Let's see those pearly whites. Isn't that what the Grammar Creed tells you to do? How does it feel, Trucy? Everybody online can't stop talking about you. They're telling you the real witch out there. Could this be the end to Troop Grammar? Go away, you creep! Oh, what's this? Something just charged into frame. It looks like a yellow gorilla or something. Could it be Trucy's pet, maybe? Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. You want me to get the bailiff? You mean the two people that are literally right f***ing there? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me. You can't hide a camera that damn fast. It's disappeared right before our very eyes. Well, he's not a magician, unless...
Oh, that's the plot twist. Trucy's working with Tony Stark. Ow. Trucy's working with Tony Stark. That's the twist. There we go. It all makes perfect sense. It all makes perfect sense. She's working with Tony Stark, so she performs the magic tricks for him. Obviously. I put in a call for Trucy's fans to come and support her earlier, by the way. But I get some great footage out of them. This is gonna be good. Hang loose, baby. I thought I was gonna say, I made a call for her fans to show up. Turns out she has no fans. Fortunately, he didn't say that. Called in some of Trucy's fans, but for what purpose?
Apollo? The thing Mr. Renz just said, that was some high-level sleight of hand.
Huh? Why would he know how to do something like that?
I don't know, but he definitely has some serious magic skills.
Why would he have that? No way. I thought 87 missions were a bunch of good-for-nothings. Oh, hello, Bonnie. Can I help you with something?
Well, there's something that's been bothering me.
Really? What is it?
Well, you see,
Hey, Tommy, what are you whispering the lobster boy about?
Betty.
What do you think you are? You crazy? You want a piece of this? You know you have to talk to me about first before you to suicide anything, you hairbrain. Me? Shut your mouth, you dumb bunny. Come with me. Now.
What was bothering her?
There's no way we're finding out finding out with Betty constantly hovering over her like that.
Of course, about to reconvene. Will you be alright testifying?
Yes, it's just, I wonder what Mr. Renz has up his sleeve. I doubt he's bringing in actual fans.
Yeah, probably not. I wonder what he has up his sleeve, too. Better not be trying to get under Trucy's skin right now, of all times. You're right, Trucy Wright. You're Trucy Wright, and you'll be fine.
Oh,
There goes Apollo with his best trick. That's right, whenever I'm feeling down, I always tell myself I'm fine. And you're usually wrong.
alright, I'll give it a try. I'm Trucy Wright and I'm fine. Thanks, Polly. I think I can do this now.
That girl. Good luck out there on the stand. You'll do great.
Thanks, I'll be fine. I can do this.
Alright, Justice, you can do this too. Time to focus on the rest of the trial. Of everything in the entire game, Trucy's model has been... both Phoenix and Trucy's models have been the most impressive things so far that have changed. Court is now back in session. Defendant, please step up to the witness stand.
Here comes the liar. See for throw the murderer in jail. The last man of that criminal troop. We don't want to see him on any stage.
Order! The gallery will be quiet or I will have you all thrown out of the spot. What was all the hecklers? I bet they're the fans Mr. Renz has invited. What a grade A jerk. Well, he's not gonna psych us out.
Now, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright. The court would like to know if you switched from the steel switch or rubber one on stage. So please testify about this issue.
You're just gonna try.
Triggers give the...
Magic, or give her the death penalty.
Silence! All of you, I won't tell you again! Miss Wright, do you feel able to testify?
Yes, I'm fine, Your Honor.
Trucy, I know I shouldn't have let her go through with this.
I'd like to make a small request. How about instead of testifying with words? I show you exactly what happened. Would that be right, Your Honor? And what is my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves?
In spite of everything, she's still smiling. Oh, Trucy's amazing, isn't she? She sure is. She's doing just fine up there. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on face.
Can somebody just tell you that? Can someone just fucking tell you that you're siblings already? This is destroying me. You people are siblings. You're family. Why has nobody fucking said a damn thing about this? Somebody just tell either one of them that they're siblings.
Oh, why haven't you done this yet? She's faithfully following true grammar creed even now. She really is something else.
Just tell them you're siblings.
It's showtime for magical go Trucy Wright. Watch carefully now, everybody.
Okay. This is new. The stupendous sword switch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on this sword.
I feel like I'm playing Wii Fit. Like, just mirror my movements.
Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is. See that? No tricks or gimmicks. A very sharp sword indeed. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and... Presto Sordo! There, I've switched it. And now...
Okay, so she does it when she twirls around.
Hup! As you can see, the blade is not steel, but rubber.
Okay, seriously. I can't stop praising this game for its animation and visual quality. It's freaking fantastic.
Also, she switched it around when she turned around and she concealed it with her cape. But that only affects us, by the way. She's literally facing away from the entire gallery, so they can all see exactly how she switches it.
Bravo, Miss Wright.
Wow, switching in the flash, couldn't see her doing it at all. Yeah, because, wait a minute, wait. Her back was to you. How did you not see her do it? She completely turned the room around. The hecklers are being drowned out by all the cheering.
Well, where did this steel sword vanish off to, Miss Wright? In order to deepen our understanding of the case, please tell us if you would. I'm not asking out of mere curiosity, just so you know.
I usually have the steel sword backstage when I switch them during the show.
So when you thrust the rubber sword into the coffin, the steel sword wasn't even on stage but behind the curtain?
Exactly. See, there is a trick and a gimmick to it after all. That's as for where the steel sword went when I performed the trick just now. It's a secret. Wouldn't want to spoil the magic for you now, would I?
Ah. Oh, that's our Trucy. Yeah, still. Miss Wright, that part where you spun around, that's an actual part of the sword switching trick you do for the show, right?
Right, the other parts, like the apple, were just to help with my explanation here in court.
That's fun. I think I found inconsistent in your testimony. We did. And it looks like I'm not the only one. I know, but I forgot to get to the bottom of it. Wait, oh, we have the show footage, right? Where is it? Where's the show footage? Is this it? Okay, can we, I guarantee you it's gonna be a thing where, like, there's an inconsistency between what's in the footage and what actually, like, what she just did there. She didn't twirl. She didn't twirl around. She never twirled around. That's not good for us at all.
Return to ask dumb questions in this world, this wondrous magic.
I thought this was supposed to be my cross-examination. Yeah, that's not good for us at all. You didn't do that during the show.
Objection!
Miss Wright, there's something I'd like to confirm with you.
What is it, Apollo?
There seems to be a discrepancy between the way you performed the trick for her just now and the way it appears in the show footage.
What? But that can't be. I performed exactly the same way both times.
Then what's going on here? Oh, is it gonna be that fucking Tony Stark edited out switching it for rubber sword to make her look more guilty than she actually is? I guarantee it's gonna end up being what it is. Okay. I have show footage right here, and the part where you twirl your cape around is missing from it.
What? But I did it!
So, it really is the exact moment you switch the swords.
Yes, that's right.
I knew it.
Well, I certainly never expected the defense to expose the accused's lie for me.
Mr. Justice, does this mean that you are arguing that the defendant did not swap the swords during the actual magic show?
No, Your Honor, that wasn't my intention. I mean,
I did swap them, I know I did! I'm absolutely sure of it! Human memory is unreliable at best, but in this case, I am afraid that it is the witness herself who cannot be trusted. We can see the footage for ourselves. The claims of the witness are false. But... Now that it has been proven that the accused did not swap swords, it means that the use of the steel sword to pierce the coffin was wholly intentional. And by the way, was it not you, Mr. Justice, who argued that Mr. Roos's death was not an accident but murder? I assume you have no objections to that still? It was, after all, your own assertion.
Objection!
defense is an objection to you, Mr. Apollo Justice. I demand you withdraw the discrepancy you pointed out now. But there is a discrepancy, and it must mean something, I'm sure of it. Yeah, it means that f***ing Tony Stark edited it out of the footage to make Trucy seem more guilty. And the only reason, but what's the incentive? Like, what's the actual incentive? He clearly has a grudge against the Grammary Troop, but why does he, of all people, like, did he steal his cable network spot? Like, he was dominating the news or something like that? That's stupid. There's gotta be a better motive than... You know what? Oh, why didn't I see that sooner? Why didn't I see that sooner? Oh my god, I should have noticed that immediately. Oh, I should have seen that Okay. That's why it is a sleight of hand. That was the moment I should have figured it out. That's the moment that I should have figured this out. Oh, okay. I hate it when I figure it out, like, way after the game is actually, when the game wants you to. Because, okay, where's the poster? Here it is. It was on the first page. Why did I go all the way through? I guarantee you that the final twist to this case that we're heading toward right now is that the Roger Rentons, like Roger Ratings or whatever, we're calling him Tony Stark. Tony Stark is actually Mr. Roos or Mr. Reeves. Whatever. We're calling them Green Man and Tony Stark. Tony Stark is actually Green Man, and Green Man was actually Tony Stark. And we check that by checking the scar on Tony's arm. If there's no scar there, then my theory's bunked. But if there's debunked. If there's a scar on Tony Stark's arm, then that means that they switched places. That's the only thing that makes any sense, and I'm pissed at myself for not seeing that as sooner. Because the second he made that camera disappear, I should have immediately known what was going on here. But that doesn't, like, that explains his mode, but it doesn't explain how he would have, because he has an alibi, right? Wait, Wait a minute. Wait. I just thought of something. Where's the prank script? The prank script. I can't speak today. Mr. Russo's body will appear in the supposedly empty coffin, which should cause a big ruckus. After capturing a bit of Trucy reaction on film, Mr. Russo will come back to life laughing and flying up into the air, causing another round of surprise. Does he have a harness on in the crime photo or something that he can... Yep, okay. So, there's a little clip around his belt that's supposed to be used. I'm assuming that's to help him fly up toward the ceiling, right? And that's why, because that's why the dragon fell, right? The dragon falls, which in turn pulls him up to the ceiling. And you know what? If there was something up there, like if there was something in the ceiling that would have caused that wound, because he would have flown up in this position. If there was like if the sword had been stuck in the ceiling and he flew up towards the ceiling, that this would have impaled him on the spot and killed him. So that explains how he could have how he could have maintained his alibi without actually having been there. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be the final twist that we're headed towards right here. Well, the defense team currently saved their spot until after court is adjourned. Now, after all this debate, it seems we've come back around to the original argument. The defendant knew about the prank plan that would place the victim inside the coffin, which the defendant did not perform the sword-switching trick on stage.
Through her actions, I'm afraid I have come to see the true intentions of the accused. Her murderous intentions.
It's such a shame.
But I did switch the swords, I swear.
You're knee-deep in it now, Justice.
Let's see, you are... which one again? Benny? No, that's not right. Bonnie?
It's Bonnie. You're mixing the two names together, Your Honor.
Oh, pardon me. And you have something to wish to say, Bonnie?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to testify.
About what?
The more I think about it, the less possible it seems. I don't believe Trucy killed Mr. Roos.
Bonnie?
Hey, what's with the big idea? Such an
incredibly gifted and talented magician would never commit murder. I refuse to believe it.
What are you talking about, you harebrained hair? You keep your trap shut. I got a bag of baby carrots for you, so chew on those and pipe down.
No, I won't be quiet.
What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me?
Trucy said something to me once.
Huh?
She said no matter how scared you get, no matter how mean people are to you, you can't give in or give up. That's what being a professional magician is all about. Isn't that right, Trucy?
That's right, Bonnie.
I've always been afraid to stand up to Betty, afraid to deny her, so I did what she said. When I saw Trucy today, she gave me strength.
What have you done to my sister, Trucy Wright? You've practically brainwashed her.
It's the power of Trucy's conviction, that's what it is. It touched Bonnie's heart.
Yeah, Trucy really is one magical girl. Bonnie, is the topic of your testimony related to that thing that was bothering you? That thing you tried to tell us about in the lobby during the recess?
Yes, ever since I saw that show footage, something's been nagging at me. I feel like something was different from what I saw on the stage.
Yep, it was edited. So now we need to find proof. Okay, I should be pretty damn good at this, because I edit footage all the time. I make YouTube videos, of course I do. So I know what to look for when it comes to somebody splicing footage together. I know what to look for. So this should be my territory here.
It can't show anything other than what happened on that stage yesterday.
But Bonnie says when he deserves our attention. We have to examine the show footage.
But what can we check it against? Do you have some other footage of the show?
Well, yep, that's what I thought. We're gonna check to see what was edited out.
Daisy Cameron said he was a fan of mine, so he kept his camera on me throughout the entire show. And then afterwards, he gave me the footage to show as a present.
He did?
To tell you the truth, I thought it was kind of creepy, so I was gonna get rid of it.
Please submit that footage to the court.
No, then let's take a look at this new footage.
Oh, so we're not gonna look for what was edited out of the. We're not gonna look for like a clear sign of editing in the other video. We're gonna look for something that happened in this footage that didn't happen in the other footage that would have been edited out. Okay, why is the camera focusing on the legs? Okay, this cameraman is terrible. I vote we fire this cameraman and hire a new one. Whoa, what the hell was that? That didn't happen. That didn't happen in the other footage. Okay, so that's what we gotta point out. Oh, Christ almighty. Ow, my eyes. That's enough. Okay, God. Wow, okay then.
He really did keep his camera on Bonnie the whole time, didn't he?
I think this camera needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work.
Well, defense, you still believe this new show footage is worth inspecting?
Of course I do. Okay, so how are we gonna go about this? Yeah, thanks. I got it. I figured out what we had to look for. I got it, thanks. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare these two pieces of show footage.
Very well, I will allow it.
What a waste of time.
Apollo, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage? No, I've never done it before. I'll give you a lesson then. Use the on-screen modes to operate the video playback. Okay, yeah, thanks. I know how the fast forward and the rewind button works. Yep, there's the cards. Okay, right here. This is it right here. Take a good look at the scene. Oh, this playing cards don't appear in the video shot from the front. Hey, you're right. What's going on here? Miss Wright, what can you tell us about these playing cards?
Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword switching trick.
Yup, it was edited out of the video by none other than Mr. Tony Stark. What?
Mr. Justice, does this mean...
Yes, it means that the sword switching trick was cut from the TV show footage.
So the footage was edited.
Yes, with a malicious intent.
That is absurd.
Well, we must get to the bottom of this right away. Bailiff, TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, look who it is. It's you, Mr. Stark.
Now, hold up, Your Honor. This is all just a big misunderstanding, believe you me. Give a guy a chance to defend himself before you start pointing fingers.
And who might you be?
Right. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself there. Here it is. Here's my business card. Trying to make your acquaintance, Your Honor.
Oh, well, how very polite of you.
It's lovely to meet you too, Prosecutor Samani. Please take my card. A business card? Yes, I read about this custom among businessmen in this country. I've even familiarized myself with the various replies. How do you do, good sir? Or what's crack-a-lackin', homie, for example.
Oh, you're from Take-Two TV, aren't you, witness? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before.
Yes, Raja Renteds, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja. He is a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He is the best known for his catchphrase, hang loose, baby.
Oh my, so you're the ratings Raja.
Hey, hang loose, Judgy, baby. Nice costume you got here.
I never thought I'd get to meet you in person. Well, Prosecutor Samadi, how do you know so much about him?
Because I've seen all the Marvel movies. I found the Ratings Raja goes to Burger Barn in particular interest. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine.
What? You went to Burger Barn?
Who would have thought?
Must have really wanted to try it, huh, buddy? Because that line. Phew. Compared to my aesthetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend that Southwestern burger with jalapeno jack cheese, by the way.
I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers.
Prosecutor Samadi's unexpected enthusiasm for Ford aside. Mr. Rennes, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned?
Well, for starters, it's true the footage was edited. You'll get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show you the unedited footage. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part with the playing cards. You can see the cards that Trucy spins around, so keep your eyes peeled. You see the part that was cut where Trucy switched the swords? She spins around and playing cards go flying. Everything's like it's supposed to be.
Then it seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick.
Which means the sword Mr. Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Mr. Wright couldn't have killed Mr. Roos.
Yeah, see, that's the first misunderstanding right there.
What do you mean?
Well, Trucy definitely did swap swords, as you saw. So, yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mr. Roos when she stabbed the coffin. But that just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse.
If that's true, then how exactly do you think he was killed?
It was after the Dragon City scheme crashing down.
Yeah, everything you're saying right now just further implicates you as the murderer. See, I want to stop talking now.
Plus, there's a suspicious looking shadow in the footage, too. It's toward the end of the footage, just before the dragon hits the stage. That'd be easy to see for yourselves. It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here. The suspicious shadow must be Trucy. She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim.
What? No, that would... What? That doesn't make any sense at all! If the shadow's going up when the dragon's going down, what do you think is happening there, you dingus? It means he's being pulled up toward the ceiling because he's wearing a safety harness, which falls in line with the prank plan script which you created. What do you mean?
Now that you mention it, I suppose it does look that way.
This witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Your Honor, and that's not all, aren't we forgetting? That the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage.
You see? There's your second misunderstanding right there. Your Honor, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV, and I've always wanted to give it a shot.
That would be fine with me, Prosecutor Samadi.
That is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the karmic course of this case. Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I've got to say. Promise. Very well. However, if you do anything to impede the last rites for the victim, I will have you removed.
Alright, with Prosecutor Samadi's permission, please give us your testimony, Mr. Rentons.
Right, your ratings, the ratings Raja. Now, in case you're at the courtroom. Hey, I'm taking over the floor, so listen up, loyal viewers.
Okay, witness testimony. It wasn't deliberate, I tell you. Sure it wasn't.
It's meant to be edited, I tell you. Scenes are spliced together and long or boring scenes are cut out. Yeah, but that, you didn't cut out a long or boring scene. All scenes edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously. Oh, bullshit, it wasn't done maliciously.
I see, so you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword swapping scene was cut?
That's right. Glad to get the picture.
Objection!
Coincidence, that's just a little too convenient if you ask me. Ooh, an objection. How cool. Sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle. My objection is not for your entertainment. And cut. There. Got some good stuff there.
Mr. Reddit's filming is prohibited inside the courthouse.
Oops, my bad, Judge.
And if the defense has an issue, it can point it out during the cross-examination.
Okay, well, it was definitely done maliciously. I'm gonna need you to tell me exactly why you don't think... What is your reasoning for this not being malicious? I would love to hear it. Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword-switching trick? That seems like too much of a coincidence. Oh, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my programs, Big Shot? Sorry being the boss, kid. You gotta make the tough choices, like which content gets cut. Then let me ask you this. What exactly made you make this tough choice in this case? You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. What artistic vision? She switched the swords! I'll tell you, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know how the first thing about it. I may not know to you, but I know evidence law, and boy do I have some for you, champ. I may be able to show you that your selective evidence was intentional. But however, I know you bear the defendant ill will. Oh, the stupid, what? The thing that, the forged signature. I can't speak today. This is the contract you had Miss Wright signed just before the magic show. This contract between the first party, Take-Two TV, and the second party, Miss Wright, reads, if through the fault of the second party, the show must be canceled in part or in full. The second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party.
$3 million? That's a completely unreasonable sum.
I couldn't agree more, and of course, Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Rated had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or, more accurately, he conned her into signing it.
Conned her? How did he do that?
There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign her contract. Yeah, we know all this already. Fellas, do you have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff? Just because Trucy and our agency can't pay it doesn't mean I conned her. Okay, fine. All we have to do is just match up the signatures. I don't care how many times you sign your name, it's never going to be the exact same twice. That's an impossibility. Human nature does not allow it to be the same twice. It's just impossible. So all we gotta do, compare the signature on this with the signature on this. And if they're the same, exactly the same, you have no leg to stand on, Mr. Stark. Where's your proof link? It's right here. It's right here.
Objection!
You must be quite the comment if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken. Hey kid, can you enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster? Think of the viewers. I'd like you to take a look at Miss Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here on this contract. Literally exactly the same.
Whoa, would you look at that? They were exactly the same.
That's right, Your Honor, not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign the name in exactly the same way twice unless it's a copy. These signatures are proof positive that you conned Mr. Wright, or Miss Wright, and they definitely prove your malicious intent.
Say,
not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in you. This is really getting interesting now. Okay, great ratings for sure. Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Rentons. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client, so the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions, isn't that right? What a forced argument, defense. All you have really proven is not his ill will toward Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed. That's right, I just wanted money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show. That's not true. Nope, I guarantee. Okay, so this is the part where we reveal it, right? Gonna bear any will, huh? Fat chance. I can't prove anything but a sting. See, all points to that fact. There must be something between the two of them. Yep, connection not even Trucy's aware of. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Rated and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must be some hidden connection between them.
Hidden?
Connection?
What is it now?
Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice?
It is futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's feckless claims.
Once you hear my argument, you'll wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously.
Will I really? Very well then, do proceed.
Did you figure something out, Apollo? Nope, not a thing. Yep, yes I did. That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training. Hope you know what you're doing. I do know what I'm doing.
If you're going to make such a bold claim, Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between...
They're dating! Oh god, no. Rentons is a magician too. Yup. Hit the button! Good Christ, why does it take so many hits? For some reason, for Dual Destinies and Spirit Justice, it takes so many freaking hits to actually hit the damn button.
That sleight of hand trick Mr. Rantons did during the recess earlier. What if Mr. Rantons is a magician too?
What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me.
Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Miss Wright somewhere along the way. And I can prove exactly where he had that contact.
Your argument is hardly worth responding to. But by all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Cryonism states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit, he isn't gonna get it anyway. But we saw Mr. Rance perform a magic trick. He made his video to the camera disappear in the blink of an eye. Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must have been seeing things. Wouldn't you a good eye doctor?
If a connection as tenuous as that is all it takes, then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will toward the accused.
I guess you're right. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, huh? I know who you are! I figured this out 20 minutes ago!
3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey.
Huh, numbskull for a numbskull. Huh, well, this numbskull has thick skin, so there. I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician, it's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy, is it? Hold on, I can think of one person. One magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Troop Gramarye. Oh? No way!
Is something wrong, Mr. Justice?
Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time.
I see. What sort of evidence do you have?
Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who has a motive to commit the crime.
What?
And what have you come up with this time, defense?
Trucy Wright is the sole heir to Troop Gramarye in its name. This puts her square in the crosses of one particular magician. And this piece of evidence points to that one person with a grudge against Miss Wright! You ruined my moment. Damn it. Damn it, me, you clicked on- I clicked on the wrong button and ruined my own moment.
Who exactly are you named, Mr. Justice?
13 years ago, the great Mr. Roos belonged to Troop Gramarye, but then the troop ousted him and Mr. Roos vowed to get revenge on them someday. And what better way to accomplish that than through the rejuvenation of the sole heir?
But Mr. Roos is the victim, Mr. Justice. You named the dead manager suspect.
Nope. But is he really dead?
What do you mean, is he really dead?
If the fact that Mr. Roos is the victim and what's throwing you off, then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Roos? Yep. Exactly what I proposed earlier. Well, what? You mean the victim was an imposter?
Not Mr. Roos? Then what about the real Mr. Roos?
It would mean the real Mr. Roos is still alive.
That's absurd.
Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Roos if not the victim of this case?
It's all coming together now. I finally see the gimmick, the trick to this entire case. This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated Troop Gramarye and wanted to sully its name. The magician lurking in the shadows who set up a fake Mr. Roos in his stead. The real Mr. Roos is Roger Ratings.
But that's...
Yes. Yes, it is. Roger Ratings is the real Mr. Roos.
What?
Also, I get you're probably supposed to pronounce the name Mr. Rias, but if I kept saying Mr. Rias, like mysterious, all the entire time, that I wouldn't have been able to take myself seriously.
Oh, hollow red pepper, your impotent seeds sprout not but meaningless empty words. You can't possibly have proof to support such a—
Just check the scar! Check for a scar! You want proof? Well, I got proof, and I can prove it by proving that Mr. Roos yesterday's magic show was a fake. And to do that, I just need you to look at this spot on the poster. This is the injury Mr. Roos sustained while practicing a magic trick 13 years ago. However, the video the victim shot of himself shows no trace of that injury.
Oh boy, you're absolutely right.
Now, Mr. Ratings, what do you suppose we'd find if we took a look at your right forearm? Is there by chance a nasty 13-year-old scar under that sleeve of yours? Well, Mr. Ratings, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something else up there? Come on now, I have nothing on my sleeve. Then show us! Then prove it! Pull up your sleeve and prove it! Yep, exactly what I thought. Oh, there it is, the scar! Just as I thought. That's right, I am the Forgotten Magician, abandoned to the dark on a stage of history. The Great Mr. Roos.
This...
Is totally...
absurd.
Oh, how ironic, wouldn't you say? That the sturdy smart carved into me in my troop grammary would bring me back into the limelight once more.
Strange are the karmic threads before me, yet the witness is the real mysterious. Then who was the victim who perished in the magic show?
He was but a fan. I met him in one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician and a aversion for the great mysterious. In confidence, I told him my true identity, and let him take on my mantle.
And when did this man take over for you?
About 2 years ago, I taught him my tricks and even acted as his producer, and so a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight, courtesy of my magic on the stage we call television. Hope you enjoyed the show.
You really had us all fooled.
Mr. Rendons, or should I say Mr. Roos, in your hatred of troop grammar, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery. And then set up Miss Wright to take the fall, didn't you? You did it all just to tarnish the grammary name! Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I said that the prank, that much is true, but it was just simply a harmless joke on Trucy to assure you. Uh-huh! Yep, man, yep, definitely! Yet she learned of the plan and made use of the to convert it. Also, strongly the criminal element runs in the blood of three grammaries. Nope, But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people knew about, couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead? Yikes! His head! Just kidding. What the heck was that? Hear my words, lawyer lad, for I fear your grasp of reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It wasn't the tricks nor gimmicks. Enough with the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already? My alibi is as pretty as ever. Wouldn't you agree about that? Yeah, but if what I said earlier is correct, then you wouldn't need to be there to actually kill him. You wouldn't need to be there. Because all the work would have been done ahead of time to set up the prank.
Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Rendons was at Take-Two TV, a fact that many people can easily attest to.
Ah, that's right, I totally forgot all about that. Oh, so what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to testify in the matter?
Yes, I think you'd better. Please let the court know more about your alibi.
Very well then, on with the show. Are you watching Man of Your Grammary? The time has finally come for my magic to justify your precious pedigree. The grammary line will be no more. I was at the TV station at the time of the Prender's performance. I was busy working on the TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask myself like that if you doubt my claim, and there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, yeah, but you wouldn't need to be there. You wouldn't need to be there to actually kill him. Okay. Do you want to stand up, perhaps? I did not grace the authority with my presence until after the incident. His staff did say he was there on the station, so it sure does sound like a rock-solid alibi. But that can't be right. Mr. Rendons is the killer, and he has to have been there at the theater. There's gotta be a hole somewhere in his story. Actually, there were no holes on Mr. Roos's stage. No tricks, no gimmicks. True magic doesn't need trapdoors to escape through. Do enjoy my show to the fullest, and my real alibi. Okay, well again, nothing's jumping out at me, so I'm just gonna press everything. We'll see what it turns up afterwards.
A few inches later.
Ah, his alibi really is airtight.
I believe we've heard enough. While I believe the witness does indeed harbor some ill will against the defendant, there is no reason to doubt that he was at the TV station at the time of the incident.
Yes, the facts prove it was impossible for the witness to have been involved with this crime.
Ah.
These last rites of the victim have dragged on long enough. The soul of the victim himself is so bored that it is resting on top of your Honor's head.
It is?
The time has come. Let us punish the sinner and guide the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm.
Apollo, Trucy will be thrown in prison and we'll be out of a job. But if you catch any tasty fishies, will you sell me some at a good price? I told you, I have absolutely zero intention of going off on a tuna boat. Think, Justice, you have to figure this out. It's no use, I can't find a single flaw, so what now? Oh, behold, my never-ending magic show. And for the awe-inspiring showmanship of the great Mr. Roos. I saved my grand illusion until the end of time. Ah. Wait, is he saying that we're still trapped inside some sort of illusion of his? Could it be? Do you know what, Mr. Rendons? I guess we have all been spectators to the elaborate illusion you prepared for us, an illusion that has suddenly turned our attention towards something you wanted us to see. What are you going on about, Loud? Have you got something, Apollo? I just remembered something Trucy said about misdirection. What the magician says is there really isn't, and what they say isn't there actually is. Then maybe he's made us see something the way that wasn't there. It's time to rethink all my assumptions about this case. What have we been made to believe was there what actually wasn't? What have we taken to be the absolute facts of this case? If I reevaluate the validity of all of these things, then just maybe, Athena, there's something uncanny about this case. Okay, what is it? Ren's alibi. It's too perfect. That's true, it's like it's impossible to break no matter how hard we try. But maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's exactly what he wants us to think. I'm not following. We're not making any headway here because we've been so focused on breaking his alibi. Oh, I think I get it. You're saying he's using misdirection on us, right? It's definitely a possibility.
Ahem, would the defense care to share with everyone what it's discussing over there?
Your Honor, we believe that if we were to reconsider a certain assumption, we may finally arrive at the truth. In fact, I think we'll even finally see who's hiding behind the curtain, so to speak.
And what is the certain assumption you're thinking of?
This is the one key assumption we've been taking for granted the whole time. The fact that the culprit was on scene. Yup, exactly what I thought. What if the culprit was somewhere other than the theater at the time of the crime? What if there was some way to commit the murder without actually being there? If that were the case, then Mr. Redding's profile would become irrelevant.
How could one person stab another to death with a sword without physically being there? Furthermore, we all saw what appears to be the culprit's shadow in the footage.
But couldn't we just as easily assume that the shadow does not belong to the culprit?
Well, if it's not the culprits, then whose is it?
I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. We've all seen something that looks like this shadowy shape before, Your Honor, during the magic show itself.
In that case, please point it out to us in the show footage for us.
This is the thing that looks suspiciously similar to the shadowy figure of the culprits. Okay, well, I just have to show the part where... Wait, hold on. Okay. Where do you... I'm waiting for your shadow to appear, because... Okay, so, what I'm getting at here is that... I'm pretty sure the whole pull me up to the ceiling thing and get stabbed up there is what we're going for here. So I'm gonna pause it right when, Asmian disappears. Oh, wait, there it is. Right here. Right here. That's it, right? That's what we're looking for. Is the idea of something being pulled up to the ceiling. Doesn't this shadow resemble the suspicious shadowy figure?
Now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it?
Mr. Wright, could you identify the shadow for the court?
Let's see, I believe that's Mr. Hat's shadow. It's from when he's being pulled up from the stage of the catwalk overhead by the wire.
Then could the shadow that's shown later in the footage be Mr. Hat too?
No, that's not possible. After Mr. Hat was pulled up to the catwalk, he stayed up there.
In other words, this second shadow is from some other figure being pulled up.
Some other figure? I'm afraid you'll need to be more specific than that, Mr. Justice.
He's right, we've come this far. I'll just have to figure it out from the clues I have on hand. What is the second? That would be the victim in this photo right here. If we consider what was happening on the stage at the time, there's only one answer. The shadow belonged to the fake Mr. Roos. In other words, Mr. Man of Mystery.
The victim?
Basically, look at the prank plan script. Mr. Mystery was to pretend to be dead and then fly up into the air after that. Isn't that right, Mr. Reddins? Indeed, and what of it? I contend that that's exactly what happened. The victim was wearing a stunt harness around his waist. It was most likely attached to a stunt wire so he could be pulled up into the air. Yep, exactly what we thought.
So suggesting that after pretending to be dead in the coffin, the victim flew up into the air just as the prank script says?
Exactly. We just couldn't see him go flying up because the dragon was blocking our view. And that last trick, ladies and gentlemen, is the true piece de resistance of the culprit's murderous magic show. Don't tell me you got it all figured out. Yes, I think so. If we can just look beyond Mr. Redding's last bit of misdirection, we should finally be able to see the real truth. The victim must have been pulled up to the catwalk just like Mr. Hat. And then hit the cushioning up there with considerable force. You just have to figure out what else happened up there at the time.
Are you ready to elaborate, Mr. Justice?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
In that case, please answer me this. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up into the air like that to murder him?
Just why did the culprit have the victim fly up after he appeared in the coffin? And how did the victim actually die when he was only pretending to be dead in the coffin? If we can figure out how these two questions relate, the answer should become clear.
Could it be?
Mr. Mystery must have thought he was still just part of a prank when he appeared on stage. He probably didn't suspect a thing as he was being pulled into the air. After Miss Wright was called backstage and just as the set piece fell. But the culprit had already planted the real murder weapon in the cushion in the catwalk. It was probably a knife or blade of some sort. What? You mean? Yes, it really was a magical murder. Just as the prank script said, Mr. Mystery was whisked up into the air and straight into a blade there in the catwalk. In other words, this murder was committed remotely through the use of a magic trick! What?
Remotely?
Using this method, it wouldn't matter where Mr. Reddings was at the time of death.
But how exactly does it work, Mr. Justice?
Just before the murder occurred, the dragon saved himself in the coffin. Yep, it's just gonna explain what we already figured out. Yep, gets pulled up. Yep, exactly. Exactly what we thought. That the cushion was high up enough to be hidden from the audience's view. That's why nobody saw the blade.
Oh, then that big gash in Mr. Hat's cap.
The blade must have been set up overhead sometime before the magic show. Mr. Hat must have been slashed by 2 when he was pulled to the cushion.
I believe that. I had no idea. I was told Trucy would forget if I made the set piece fall. That's the reason I did it.
You were used, Betty, and Roger Reddings used you.
I thought it was my little puppet to boss around, but it was the other way around.
After this incident, Mr. Reddings arrived at the theater. He got the murder weapon and swapped the rubber sword with a bloody steel one. That's also when he lowered the victim's body down to the stage. But how did he have time to do all that? When the set piece fell, the audience was evacuated from the building. He was able to do all these things after the fact because there was no one around to see.
A horrific murder camouflaged by a spectacular magic show. That sounds like the kind of murder only a magician could pull off.
And as long as the show proceeded as it was scripted, Mr. Mystery was blah, blah, blah. That's why it was you, Mr. Renz, who killed the victim all the way from the TV station. This prank plan, should I say murder plan, proves your murderer's intent.
You dim-witted, ignorant, imbecilic, putrid red pepper.
He can't possibly have a counter-argument to make. Talk about not knowing when to let it go and move on. Do you have a rebuttal with something Prosecutor Sadmati?
No blade of any kind was found in the catwalk, which means you have no evidence to support your theory.
What? Okay, alright. Then you know what? I have something else. I have something else that I can show you to prove to you. Where's the fingerprinting results? Here they are. Okay. So they're all... What we learned that was weird, but I didn't have an explanation for it, is that the prints were reversed. Like, the hands were reversed. Like, they shouldn't look like that if you're inside. And I guarantee you that the explanation for that is because... What ended up happening, because Bonnie switched the ass man, like, put the ass man in the wrong place, was... It would lead to Trucy stabbing the sword into a different, like, the wrong side of the box, right? Or the coffin or whatever. Which means that the blood from that would end up on the wrong side of the coffin. So, that would be so, like, if you... The blood that would have already been there, like, you put blood in the side to make it seem like it happened during the show, would then not match up with what Trucy actually did. So, in an attempt to actually cover that up, it's like, oh crap, the blood doesn't match up anymore because she put it in the wrong side. So they switched the sides of the coffin around. But the only person who could have done that is him, because he wasn't there to see the show. He knew what was supposed to happen, but he didn't know what actually happened. And that's it. That's the final piece of evidence that we need. I guarantee it. But Mr. Reddings retrieved it after the fact.
Which still leaves you with no way to prove your wildly fantastic remote murder theory.
But
without proof, does it not make more sense to believe that the murder was committed there on the stage? That's where the bloodstained sword was found, after all.
That is a very good point.
As the only person who could have committed the crime there on that stage, Trucy Wright remains the prime suspect.
Nope. Incorrect. False. Nope.
My magic is exacting punishment on your granddaughter. Your grandmother name is done for.
Apollo, we need to hit them with a decisive piece of evidence here. I know, that's just what I was thinking.
Mr. Justice, do you or don't you have anything to prove that the witness committed this remote murder you propose?
Of course I do, Your Honor. The entire incident was carried out exactly according to the script. Right, so theoretically there should be no evidence for us to find or use, which means our best bet is to see if something unscripted happened. There's gotta be something Redding's good enough foreseen, and once I find it, that'll how I'll expose his murderous trick. Get ready, Mr. Redding, because I'm about to reveal a secret to your magic. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, just some good old-fashioned logic. As long as Magic Show went as scripted, the murder would happen without fail. Everything in the case was carefully planned so that no evidence would be left behind. While part of the Magic Show wasn't part of the original script, Bonnie's mistake. Bonnie made a mistake during Trucy's escape trick. What mistake did Bonnie make during the escape to Mr. Hat? Yeah, Mr. Hat's positioning. Because Bonnie placed Mr. Hat to the right of the coffin instead of to the left, Trucy had to reappear on the side of the coffin opposite the one in the show script. But the culprit didn't know that when he first arrived at the theater. Which part of the culprit's cover of 10 was effective for Trucy's new position? That would be the blood in the coffin hole. Thinking Trucy had appeared on the left, the culprit must have put the blood in the left hole. But the blood was eventually discovered in the right hole during the police investigation. If the killer originally put the blood on the left side, that means he must have tampered with the scene again afterward to make it line up with the facts. To make the crime scene consistent with the facts, the culprit must have swapped the coffin size. Exactly like we said! And the final proof of that is going to end up being the fingerprint results, because that proves that the handprints do not line up with what should have been there naturally. The culprit swapped the coffin size. That's right, the left and right panels of the coffin are interchangeable. The culprit must have switched the two panels to make the bloodstain fix the facts, but the switch might have also given rise to something unnatural. Oh, I remember now. There was something unnatural, but they haven't, and it's just the evidence I need. Sorry, Mr. Reynolds, but I have some very conclusive proof of your guilt.
Another bluff, is it? There's no way you could have anything of the kind. Magic is real.
Objection!
No, there are tricks and gimmicks to it just like any other illusion. What? After the murder, you switched the left and right panels of the coffin, didn't you? And because you did, you left behind something very unnatural for us to find. This proves the writer has tampered with the crime scene after the murder took place!
Take that!
The fingerprinting results.
What about the fingerprints is unnatural?
Let's take a look at the prints with the victim left inside the coffin, shall we? If the victim was facing forward in the coffin, his print should have looked like this. However, what we found was they were facing the opposite direction. It's quite unnatural for the prints to be facing this way, wouldn't you agree?
It is strange, isn't it? But how did they get this way?
They got this way because the culprit thought the magic show had gone according to script. The culprit thought Mr. Hat would be on the left side of the coffin. And that Mr. Wright would also pop up to on the left side of the coffin as per the show script. He then assumed she had thrust the sword into the hole on the left side of the coffin. That's why he put the blood in the left hole when he was trying to cover up his crime. But sometime after leaving the blood stain, the culprit must have realized his mistake. He found out that the duty of his mistake, he must have us to the right of the coffin. And that, despite the script, Miss Knight had thrust the sword into the hole on the right. It showed the hole with the blood was on the side opposite the one that Trucy used. To make the blood's location fit the facts, he had to tamper with the evidence yet again. So he tried to cover his tracks by switching the coffin's left and right panels.
Oh, and that's all the fingerprints in the coffin ended up backwards. Because the culprit switched the two side panels around. And the prints ended up facing the opposite direction. But instead of going to all that trouble with the panels, why didn't the culprit just wipe the blood away and redo it on the other side?
Because luminol testing fluid leaves the residue, right? Afraid that wouldn't have worked, Your Honor, because of a little something cut. Yep.
Oh, right, luminol, I almost forgot. Luminol can direct different amounts of blood even when it's right away.
Yep. That's right, wiping the blood away would have only served as proof of his meddling. How about it, Mr. Rennans? I did a pretty good job figuring out your trick, didn't I?
Objection!
Trucy Wright could have done the same just as easily. You have no proof that it was this witness who tampered with the evidence.
Objection!
Ah, but I do have proof.
What?
A person who was in the magic show would never have made the mistake of putting the blood on the wrong side, least of all Miss Wright, who surely would have remembered she was on the other side.
Oh my, you're absolutely right.
Why, you impudent.
I'm sure you realize by now, Prosecutor Sadmati, that your claim that Miss Wright is the culprit just doesn't hold up.
Objection!
Really, Miss Wright and I? Because I think you're the one with a ticket there for trying to convict an innocent girl. We've taken down the prosecutor.
Prosecutor Sadmati, are you alright?
As for the true culprit, he is someone who knew how the show was supposed to go but didn't actually see it, and someone who had the chance to tamper with the crime scene after the incident, and the only person who fits the bill is you, Roger Rentons. All the secrets to your tricks have been revealed. And with no tricks left, I'm afraid your show has been cancelled permanently! Gotcha!
All of my secrets have been revealed, you say? Don't make me laugh, boy. Mine is the true, real magic. There are no secrets to reveal. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the true power of the great Mr. Roos. What is a magic for greater than true programmaries? Burn, crumble, fall to my furious flames. The great Mr. Roos. I'll bring an end to you all. And now for the final letter to the grammary name, right here, right now. You two. Shall burn. Huh? No, this isn't right. Ah! Ah! No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's not my fault. I'm not the one to blame.
Okay, seriously, the animations are so goddamn good. Gotcha! Sorry to say it, buddy, but part of your journey is the end.
Curse those grammars. It's all because of them. Even now they wound me. Curse them all to the abyss. Do you really hate us that much? Did your hatred run that deep? Deep enough to kill an innocent man? You're damn right. I have no idea. You have no idea what humiliations I've had to suffer. Your grandfather, Magnifique Grandmate, kicked me out if I ever got hurt practicing my magic. Said I was too unskilled, that I would mess up on stage. Threw me out of the troopers because he was worried about his own reputation. Since I was but a child, it was always my dream to become a great magician. But that Magnifique took it all from me. But that's no excuse. There's no reason to do something so evil. Magic's supposed to make people happy, not used as a means for murder. What's the big deal? I just used what I had available to me, that's all. I get it now. That attitude toward magic is why my grandfather kicked you out. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for that lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak. You're right, I didn't see through your tricks. You see, so in the end, Troop Grandmate was deflated by the great Mr. Roos. Oh, you're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy Wright. You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive green. Oh, shut the hell up! Wow. If anyone needs to learn to let it go and move on, it's this guy. Let's go to my prison, can both burn in the flames of my creation.
Bailiff, take Mr. Reddins away, and bring the fire extinguisher just to be safe.
Wow, that was...
Oh boy. Looks like we've reached the end. I feel as though I've been watching a grand magic show.
It was close, but we just barely made it through somehow. Huh? Why does she look so down?
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
I'm about to announce my verdict. Could I see that wonderful smile of yours? That smile of a true entertainer as I do?
Aww.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, this court finds the defendant Trucy Wright
Not guilty.
Oh! My god, we did it! Oh, that was so good! That was so freaking good! Oh my god, that case was incredible! Everything about that was freaking incredible!
Court is adjourned.
That is one of the best cases in this entire series.
Thank you for everything, Polly.
Oh, Trucy, crazy idea! Now you can open your show tomorrow, just as planned.
Yep, and it's all thanks to you two. Oh, but now that Mr. Reus is gone, I'll need to find somebody to replace him.
I don't like the way she's looking at me.
Trucy, I'm so sorry about everything.
Hey, what are you apologizing for? In fact, you're in disputes, just we're victims too. He made me accomplice to murder.
But Betty, we had to take some limit for this too, you know? If we didn't know he was planning to kill Mr. Rister, we did cooperate with him.
It's all my fault, isn't it?
Neither one of you is to blame. The only one in the world is the person who used magic to commit the murder, Archer Reddins.
Don't you think I know that? Say what you want, but don't think for a second that I don't still hate you.
I guess she really does hate me. But Betty, why? I used to be a huge fan of Trucy's.
Hey, shut up, I've always hated her. Uh-huh.
Really? But if we hadn't seen Trucy's magic show, we never would have tried to become fresh magicians ourselves, right?
Speak for yourselves.
But Betty...
Ah! Just shut up.
Was she acting that way that told him because she secretly loves Trucy? Wow, Trucy never knew that being the best could be so tough.
Come on, Bonnie, we'll leave you. We have to get ready for tomorrow's show.
You're really excited about fooling with Trucy again, aren't you?
That's not true, simple dummy.
Aw, that's sweet. In a strange kind of way.
Polly, do you think I really am a naive greenhorn?
Huh? No way, she's not. Trucy, don't tell me you've taken what Mr. Rentz said to heart.
Well, maybe a little. I didn't see through his tricks and I let myself be taken in by his magic. I can't trust myself anymore. Maybe he was right to call me a greenhorn.
You shouldn't take a stock in his words. He doesn't need to know the first thing about you.
Huh?
You're a wonderful Grand magician. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you, Paul. Makes you say that.
What? The fact that you were given the rights to all their magic tricks. I know you're one of Grand magician because of this.
My grandfather's notebook?
Grand Marie create a true entertainer with a smile on her face. When you perform your magic trick in court today, you show the world your dedication to your troops' creed. Even through all the jeering, you have a smile on your face and won the crowd over. You are everything Magnifique could have helped throw in an air. You're a great magician, Trucy. Aww.
A great magician? Me?
You really are. That's why you don't have to worry about what Mr. Renan said.
Oh, Polly, thank you, still. I could have done it without you. I would have lost my nerve with it if I'd been alone up there. I just have to keep on smiling because of you.
Aw, me?
I remember what you said to me in the detention center.
After all, you're sure you saw the swords, right?
Yes, I remember doing it.
Then I just know it wasn't your fault, Trucy.
But how can you say that? We don't have any proof it wasn't me. I mean, you're a great lawyer, Polly, but...
I believe in you, Trucy, and I believe in your skills as a professional magician. So I'm gonna prove your innocence. Don't worry, you're going to be fine.
Your words are what kept me going. Apollo, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I can be everything I was meant to be.
Trucy's real smile is the best. I'm so glad I could help make that happen. Emma?
I'm really sorry, Trucy, for everything.
But why?
Well, I wasn't able to convince Prosecutor Somali what a good person you are, and I had to testify against you too.
You have nothing to apologize for. You were just doing your job.
You're too kind.
Oh, I don't know about... Huh? Is something wrong, Emma?
Oh,
Hello? Prosecutor Somali, what are you doing here?
Detective Sky. Yes? I require your forensics expertise in order to close this case. Come, let us go.
Wait, Prosecutor Somali.
The trial is over, Mr. Justice. You and I are strangers once more with no further need to interact.
Strangers? Have you really forgotten all about me? Oh, that's what it is. Okay. So, I forgot about it until just this exact second, but let me pull up that comment really quickly. Somebody left a comment on one of the Apollo Justice videos. Where is it? Here it is, okay. They give Apollo another surprise sibling later in the game. Or in a later game. No one else never mentioned that I grew up in this plot-relevant foreign country and was extremely close to my dear precious brother. So it appears that one thing might have just been spoiled for me because, Nayuta Sadmati is from the Kingdom of Karine, right? And there seems to be a connection between him and Apollo. So, what do you think the odds are that he ends up being his long-lost brother? What? You really changed, Nayuta. Telling me to let it go and stuff. What happened to you?
Oh, lawyer of impure soul, I have nothing to say to the likes of you.
Are you serious, Nayuta?
Now, if you'll excuse me.
There he goes. What was that all about, Apollo? How do you know Prosecutor Sadmati? Let's just say we're all acquaintances.
Acquaintances seems like something more than that.
Yeah, well,
You know, you only talk about your past, do you? Because you always change the subject.
I guess I'll have to talk about it someday, but for now, come on, let's forget about the past and celebrate Trucy's future. Sure, if you say so. Hey, Mr. Wright! Put him on speakerphone, Apollo! What's up, Mr. Wright? Apollo, how's Trucy? What happened to the trial? Did you get a not guilty verdict? Mr. Wright, slow down, everything's fine.
Hi, Daddy, I'm okay now.
She was found not guilty in a very dramatic turnabout, plus he saved the office. It was a great victory for Apollo. Phew, that's a load off my mind. I can't thank you enough, Apollo. Now I know I can trust you to hold on the fort anytime. Me? Really? Yes, you. You're a real full-fledged lawyer now in my eyes. A full-fledged lawyer? I still can't wrap my mind. I'm smiling so badly now. Thank goodness you were there to take care of everything, and thank you, Apollo. Oh, by the way, I won't be able to make it to tomorrow's show, so I was hoping you could go. You'll do that for me, won't you? Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Full-fledged.
So Daddy asked you to come to tomorrow's show, huh? As my assistant, right?
No, he just asked me to go to cheer you on.
Okay then, I'll be sure to save you the best seat in the house, Polly.
The best seat in the house? Really appreciate the thought, but...
Good, then it's settled.
Please tell me he's on the stage. Please. I should have known. This is what you meant. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Magical Culture Stride will now perform our greatest illusion yet. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, ladies and gentlemen. This is real magic.
Wait a minute, you're kidding, right? There is a trigger gimmick, right? I'm too young to die.
Now, Mr. Hyde, you know what to do with that sword.
No, wait, stop, no! Yeah!
And that's how Trucy and Grummy Lane ended on a rousing high note, with a big round of applause and Polly's ear-slaying screams.
What kind of an ending is that? Wow! Wow! That case was phenomenal!
Oh, we're just starting? Okay, that's not allowed. Okay, I'm just gonna take the headphones off and we're gonna skip to this. I'm gonna cut this part out of the recording. Yeah, so, okay, wow. That case was freaking incredible. That's one of the best non-finale case. That might be the best non-finale case we've ever had. That was incredible from start to finish. Everything about Apollo and Trucy's character development there was just perfect. And the amount of development those two characters got finally, like, was just so heartwarming. And all the stuff between Phoenix and Apollo. Like, I talked about most of this already. The character development between all those characters, the chemistry between Athena and Apollo, the fact that they fixed Emma Skye, just... It was all so good. It was all so good. Like, I've spent 1.5 games hating Apollo with a fiery passion and only caring about Trucy because she's Phoenix's daughter. But I actually almost shed a tear because of her relationship with Apollo in this case. That was just so good. And the setting, the mystery itself was just so well constructed, so goddamn good. Cleverly constructed, it was perfectly paced. Maybe they could have shortened it a little bit. Or at least, like, spread out over a couple different trials, couple different investigations. Maybe they could have done that. But, aside from that, perfect case. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, oh, I'm just so impressed by that. That was so good. The only flaw, I guess, would be the prosecutor. Because, let's be honest, he's not really all that great. He feels like Edgeworth without the charm, like I said earlier. So it's just... I don't know. I feel like he could have been made a little bit better, but what you do, I suppose. The rest of it was fine, so that's gonna be... I mean, I don't know how often we're gonna switch back to Apollo's perspective, because we have Rafa, whatever her name is, the Definition Seance Princess from Kingdom of Orion whenever we do Phoenix's cases. So, I guess we'll deal with her, we'll deal with Nyota whenever we switch back here. But, that'll be the episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time to catch you all tomorrow or whenever the next episode is of Phoenix Wright, Turnabout, Justice. Goodbye.